And in conclusion, growth should be robust in quarters 2, 3, and 4. You know, Dirk, it would have been even more robust had you met the performance metric and penetrated those virgin markets last quarter. I'm really disappointed in your performance. Gee whiz, Mr. Martin. I didn't mean to flub up. My team just drops the ball all the time. Dirk, you know this is Penetron. We're about results, not excuses. Now come on, get on board with the team. Jeez, Mr. Martin. I will, I promise. Biff, why do you even keep that guy around, man? Mr. Martin, Marcy heads here looking for Dirk Diggler. I told her he was in your office. Top notch there, Gloria. Why don't you go ahead and send a little lady this way? And real quick, I'd like to have one of those teachable moments with you. You've been here for quite a while, Gloria. Why don't you pretty yourself up a little bit, hon? You know, dress nicer, show a little bit more of your assets. Who knows? You might land a nice fella. I mean, why else would you be here? Oh, Mr. Martin, I'm sorry. I was looking for Dirk. Well, hiya, Marcy. It looks like Dirk's gonna be gone for a couple of days, but I figure this'll give us a chance to, you know, chat. Oh, Mr. Martin, I would like that. It wouldn't take long for Biff to start laying out the old CEO charm. You know, Marcy, back when Tim was tapping you, I really didn't pay much attention. I figured you have pretty shitty taste in men. But then I started noticing that Dirk was banging you, and I started noticing you a little bit. You know, you're a good egg, Marcy. Oh, thank you, Mr. Martin. It's been so long since I've heard some nice things. Dirk is so preoccupied. That's really too bad, Marcy. Why don't you come here? I want to show you my little CEO. Oh, Mr. Martin, I'm moist. That's right, Marcy. You're riding the pole of the CEO. There's a billionaire thrusting inside me. I bet old Tim Head or Dirk Diggler never gave it to you like this. So big, Mr. Martin. It's so big. There's more where that came from, baby. I'm exploding multiple times. Hold on there tight, Marcy. I'm getting ready to launch that billionaire load. The Penetron way. Oh, Biff, that was incredible. With each thrust of your billionaire shaft, I realized just how inadequate Dirk is and will always be. Unfortunately, you're right, Marcy. Dirk is just never gonna get it. Then why don't you just fire him? That way we can be together. The timing's not good, Marcy. We're gonna have to keep this on the down low. Penetron comes first. Oh, whatever you say, Mr. Martin. That's right, kids. Everybody's favorite corporate yes-man, Dirk Diggler, the Weasel himself, is not actually a real Penetronian. No, he got hired as a favor. Are you ready for this story? Well, put your thinking caps on, because we're going to show you a little real history. Well, welcome to our nation's capital and the people's house. This is a flashback scene. The date is December 21st, 1970. This is a very, very famous date in our history. This is the day that Elvis Presley met Richard Nixon. We're going to show you what really happened. Wow, son. Thank you for the Mercedes. Daddy, you know I love you. Why don't we spend Christmas together at Graceland, like olden times? gosh, son. I think you know I've moved on since your mom died. Got remarried. So I was gonna spend this Christmas alone with your stepmom. Oh, hi, Elvis. Thank you for the Mercedes. Son, gee, son, you look a little down. Are you gonna be okay? Gee, Daddy, why wouldn't I be okay? I mean, after spending over $100,000 on guns and cars for Christmas presents, nobody wants to hang out with me at Graceland. After being snubbed by disloyal friends and family, Elvis decided to ditch spending Christmas alone at Graceland and instead headed for greener pastures. Hey man, it's Elvis Presley. I'm here to see President Dick Nixon. I'm trying to get one of them federal ID badges. This way I can travel the country with as much drugs and guns as I want without anybody hassling me. Mr. President, I know you have a pretty packed agenda and you don't want anybody adding to your already heavy load, but a Mr. Elvis Presley is here to see you. Hey there, Haldeman. You wouldn't be joshing with your good pal Dick Nixon. You know Dick doesn't like to get pulled in a bunch of different directions. Well, sir, if you don't mind me saying, judging from these poll numbers, an overwhelming majority of the American public doesn't want to pull Dick in any direction. No, sir. A majority of the public loves the direction Dick is headed in. They like the fact that Dick is not going to pull out. That Dick's going to stay in there until the job's done, Mr. President. That's right, Haldeman. Dick Nixon would never pull out. Dick Nixon keeps it in there. You nailed it. So what do you think Mr. Presley wants? Sir, I just think he's a good American that wants to do his part to help fight the war on drugs. Perhaps Mr. Presley could be of some use to the administration. Before I see him, I need to see Mr. Martin, please. And turn off the tapes, Haldeman. Yes, sir. Biff, know that I am conducting very important business on behalf of the nation, so when I call you in here, I need to cut right to the chase. So, are you holding? Of course I am, Mr. President. I'm an American, after all. Gee golly, Biff Martin giving the President of the United States weed? What the fuck? I thought he was anti-weed. Spanky, this was 1970 before anyone knew who Biff Martin was. He was just starting out in business and saw an opportunity to penetrate the government hemp market. Yo, Biff, this is some killer fucking weed, man. I'm starting to rethink this fucking drug policy thing. Fuck yeah, Mr. President. Marijuana's fucking cool. It certainly is cool, Biff. And peachy keen, too. Just then... Hey, man, what the hell is this? President of the United States getting high in the Oval Office? This is not the America I want to live in. Lighten up, Elvis. Why don't you try it before you criticize it? Yeah, Elvis, what are you, fraidy cat? Come on. All the cool kids smoke weed. No, man, that's drug addiction. The cool kids go see a doctor. They get Percocet, they get Oxycontins, they get modern medicine, not that evil hemp. Oh, Elvis, you have so much to learn. Nah, Mr. President, I think Elvis is a fraidy cat. Good God, Elvis, man up. You know the Beatles would get high with good old Dick Nixon. What are you, some kind of fraidy cat? Hey, man, Elvis ain't afraid of the Beatles. Give me that bomb, Mr. President. After succumbing to the peer pressure, Elvis got high. Holy shit, Mr. President. This is some badass weed. I know, Elvis. It sort of makes you rethink your priorities. Yeah, man. I was gonna come here for a badge. Now all I want to do is help do whatever I can to let the kids know this is really cool. Yes, it is, Elvis. Yes, it is. And all good things must come to an end. And just as the party was really getting going, what have we here? Hey man, who the hell is that? That, Mr. Presley, is J. Edgar Hoover, Director of the FBI. You got it, kids. It is I, J. Edgar Hoover, Director of the FBI. Mr. President, your number's up. From this point on, you're going to start enforcing all the anti-hemp legislation we tell you to do. This un-American behavior is just out of control. You, Mr. Presley, are going to get assigned a badge. You're going to go undercover and you're going to let us know about all those agitators that are out there. Hemp dealers, hemp users, rock and rollers, leftists. I want to know it all, Mr. Presley. From here on out, you work for the FBI. As for you, Mr. Martin, come with me. All right, Biff. One day, and that day may never come, I may come to you for a favor. And when I come to you, I'm only going to ask once. And if you don't do me that favor, I'm going to remember that, Biff. And I don't think you're going to like it if good old J. Edgar Hoover has you in his memory banks. Are we clear? Yes, Mr. Hoover. But regarding my business, I sell weed. I'm heavily invested. In fact, I'm over-leveraged. I can't imagine changing my business model and ever being a successful businessman, Mr. Hoover. Hey, Biff, look here. You play by the rules? I'm gonna remember it. FBI's looking for a corporate partner to help develop a lot of anti-marijuana tools. Maybe that could be someone like you. You know, I can put a good word in for you. All depends. Are you willing to do me that favor? Of course, Director Hoover. But how will I know? Like I said, one day, and that day may never come. Somebody's gonna walk up to you and say, "Hey, Mr. Martin, did you know I've been an Elvis fan ever since I learned he was best pals with President Dick Nixon?" If you ever hear those words, you'll know it's Director Hoover asking you for a solid, and I expect you to do it. Like I said, you rub the department's back, we'll rub your back, Biff. Do we got a deal? Top notch, Mr. Hoover. Count me in. Flash forward a couple decades later, and thanks to some good business sense and his good pals over at the FBI, Biff Martin built a global powerhouse, Penetron, a leader in anti-hemp technology. Oh, gee, gosh, Mr. Martin, hi. My name is Dirk Dinkler. I'm going to be interviewing for the new position today. I just wanted to say hi. Wow, Dink. I don't think you're a good fit for Penetron, but thanks for stopping by anyway. Golly gee, that's so unfortunate. My great-great-uncle J. Edgar's diary had a passage about Penetron being big Elvis fans. And you know something, Mr. Martin? I've been a big fan of Elvis Presley ever since he was bestest pals with President Dick Nixon. Ha ha. Well, gee, Dirk, since you put it that way, welcome aboard. Gee golly, helping rid America of marijuana is gonna be fun and profitable.